What's up, everybody? Today is a new episode of the Ben Herrera Show, and today we got a special guest. His name is Antonio Ruiz. Let's switch cameras over to him. It's on you.
I'm Antonio.
Hey, what's up, Tones? Tell us about yourself, who you are, where you from, things like that.
I'm your cousin. I from Holland area recently. I love the color purple. Walking underneath the moonlight, very shimmering. And I also love my bracelet from Tracy Jewelry.
Oh yeah, yep.
They're running a promo there.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, let's show off that bracelet.
A little bit of purple, like I said. I'm a man of my word.
So you like purple?
Yeah, purple's the best.
No, I mean, purple's cool. I mean, it depends on what you're using it on. Actually, I don't even think I have anything purple in.
Explains a lot.
I don't, actually. Wait, what?
What?
Oh. All right, so, Tones, let's talk about some sports here, because a lot of things have been going on for a while that, obviously, we still have COVID going on.
Mm-hmm.
Sports is being affected all over the place, as it's been. So what are your thoughts? My thoughts, actually, on the Urban Meyer being fired already, which I honestly seen that coming because of the negative things that even players were saying throughout the beginning of the season, that he was rude. He basically hit players, from what some of them were saying. And so I think he should have never even came to the NFL, because he obviously wasn't prepared for it. And so the hype of it, I guess you. So what do you think happened there? What's your thoughts on that?
So I do agree. I don't think he was prepared. I'm gonna take it at face value. I doubt he was hitting players physically, like beating the shit out of them. I don't see him doing all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think he was just like still in a different mindset to what the NFL is actually about.
Right.
And the video of him getting twerked out and things like that, his priorities probably weren't in the right place.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a lot of sense, because there was only one player that I heard that actually came out and said that he got kicked or whatever it was.
Yeah. So I really think like him moving to the NFL wasn't his best move.
Right.
In regards to his status, but to his pocket, he just coached, half a year and banked out with millions of dollars kind of thing.
Right. I think what it was too was that he thought, okay, well, I made it big at Ohio State, I can do it in the bigger leagues. And it got to his head that that's the part that he didn't prepare himself for, was the hype of the NFL. It's a faster pace, because once the like, for example, once players get there, they know they made it, so they kind of scale back a little bit. Because the college players, you got them fighting their asses off to get to that point.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think his was backwards, thinking it was going to be easier because, where he came from and everything else.
Yeah, because now he's dealing with grown men, He's not people just trying to make the starting team. These are NFL players. You got veterans that have been doing it for years. You got rookies coming in with people drooling over them.
Exactly.
He just, like Trevor Lawrence, #1 QB, amazing at Clemson. And then he's got a young James Robinson running back, and he wasn't utilizing him towards the end and benching him. I think he thought his ego would work the way it did in college.
Right. That's true. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, because, again, it's the perfect example, like I just said, of he had basically the vice versa mentality of going from college to pro, because if I was in that situation, I would have been freaking scared. Like, but I mean, yeah, he has obviously a lot more coaching experience than I ever will. So it's like, I could see his view of that on some points, but.
So I have a question for you. Do you think like this is just like a black mark on his record, or do you think this is going to tarnish his legacy forever? Because he was an amazing Ohio State coach. He ran the Big Ten for years.
Definitely. I don't think it'll mess up his career. I think a lot of people will probably think you need to go back to college.
Yes.
And that maybe he'll he'll get picked up by somebody along the way. But I honestly think that if he wants to, he can probably easily get a job anywhere.
Yeah.
Depends on, doesn't matter what division he's in. And somebody's going to pick him up regardless. So it's like, I think on that one, I don't think he'll have anything held against him except for those players that stated that they were attacked.
Yeah.
But then again, later on, maybe they'll let it go and go on from, basically drop it and squash everything.
Exactly.
But the other thing too, with his career was what do other Ohio State players think of when he was coaching? Did anything like that happen when he was there?
Well, I mean, like,
You know what I mean?
all the stories, everybody loved him, according to, obviously, not transfers, like, younger generations that transferred, or
Right.
earlier generations, I should say. But, I don't know, coming up, it seemed like everybody had a lot of respect for him, his assistant coaches, everyone like that. And then for him to jump over to Jacksonville and
Mm-hmm.
my coaches don't know how to coach, things like that, that came out from the locker room.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe you just changed throughout the years, or that he took a year or two off, right, to do the sports broadcasting and everything. So
Yeah.
maybe,
That's right. He did do that. I forgot about that.
maybe that just like loosened him up enough to change to a point where he's a different guy.
I totally forgot he was doing that.
Maybe he'll go back to that and not coach.
Yeah. I mean, it could be that could end up happening because I know that. Look at Charles Woodson. I always thought, would he ever become a coach, or even like a defensive coach or something?
Mm-hmm.
Which would be awesome if he went back to Michigan and did that. But I highly doubt that will happen. What? Just kidding.
It's all about more about helping.
Just for that, I'm gonna put Michigan behind you
Um,
in the editing.
Yeah, I just think, players going back to coach, I'm not trying to change the subject from Urban Meyer, 'cause there's still a lot to talk about, but
Yeah.
how you mentioned Charles Woodson being a defense coordinator, I feel like it's very hit or miss,
Right.
Some are just good at playing, they understand to themselves, but they can't express it. Not everybody's going to be like a Deion Sanders who's out there.
Right. Well, actually, Deion Sanders, I think he's a coach now.
Yeah,
What is
exactly.
it, Jackson State?
Yeah, exactly. He just
He's
got the
freaking-
number 1 or number 2 recruit.
I think they are actually. And what
They're I think they're D1 or D2.
they might something like that.
But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, Deion Sanders is one of those players that understands the game enough to explain it to somebody.
Exactly. It's like kind of pretty much almost the same as Charles Woodson because, I'm not just trying to bring up just him, but he's the one that I always looked at as I know he would be a great coach if he wanted to, because he knows the game so, like, because he's been there, he's seen it with his own eyes. He's on the ring at Lambeau Field, and I think where else did he get put? Was it Oakland? Or no, who else did that? I don't remember. One of those, another team had put his name up too, but I think he's another one that would be a great coach if it came to that point. Like Urban Meyer, I think wasn't ready at all to be an NFL coach. He might have had that attitude of, oh, I got this, I'm ready for this. But then when reality hit him, and all the media that would come after him,
all that pressure.
Exactly, he got to a point where maybe he tried to find a way to get fired.
Like I said, if that was the case, then he did perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
What really upsets me about the Urban Meyer thing,
Mhm.
obviously the way he acted and the way he blew this opportunity because people were looking forward to it,
Yeah.
is he wasted talent. Now, I don't think Trevor Lawrence is the next Tom Brady or anything like that,
Right.
but Trevor Lawrence definitely has potential. And look at someone like Mac Jones going to Bill Belichick. I think Trevor Lawrence was the overall better quarterback going into this year.
Right.
But Mac Jones got put under Bill Belichick, one of the best QB coaches, and Josh McDaniels at offense coordinator. And they utilized him, they taught him, they moved him in the right direction. But then Trevor Lawrence is just out here getting thrown out into a field with no line and
exactly.
fix it yourself kind of thing. And
yeah, because Yeah, I agree. Trevor Lawrence, or yeah, he would be a pretty damn good quarterback if he was in the right position.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Jacksonville would be is a good spot for him unless things changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like him when he played for Clemson, honestly, because
He
it
was
was
too
one of
good.
those like what?
He was too good, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. He was one of those ones basically like Matt used to tell me like he hated Michael Jordan only because he was too good.
Yeah.
And same thing. I'm not comparing him to Michael Jordan, but he's one of those players that like is seriously this guy again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, like and basically like the whole freaking Alabama team.
Yeah.
Like it's like really, do we really have to put up with them again?
I'm just saying though. Back to the whole coaching in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
My Chiefs, the best team in the NFL. They're talking about Eric
Well, they're better than
Bieniemy.
my team, so I can yeah.
Eric Bieniemy, our OC, the one who utilized Pat Mahomes to
Mhm.
almost his full potential. I mean, given we have more weapons in Jacksonville, they're talking about him maybe going over there to head coach,
Oh,
and
okay.
that
Yeah.
could be really good for Trevor Lawrence and James Robinson and
Yeah.
all these young receivers over there.
Hmm.
Chark whenever he's not injured, because I feel like he's always injured. Who else they got down there? Um,
Yeah.
Colin
I mean,
Johnson,
it
Marvin
might be
Jones
a good thing
Jr.
for him.
Like they definitely got a good setup for an aggressive attack offense, but
Hmm.
it's like they've just been having to press the brakes the whole time and dealing with outside stuff.
Right. I mean, that's true. But I think a lot of it is with him at least. He's more of well, look. I mean, Tom Brady obviously. I think he only threw. I want to say maybe 15 passes his first season
Mm-hmm.
because he obviously wasn't the starter at the time. But Trevor Lawrence has the opportunity to be a good quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
but needs to be in a position where he can use his talents a
Yeah.
lot better than what he's been doing. What is Jacksonville's record like? 4-8 or something like that. 4 and something.
Bad and bad.
It's worse than that.
I don't know.
Oh, I'll have to look it up.
But
I didn't get a chance.
also another thing I want to know: Jacksonville's head office messed up in the draft too, I believe, because they didn't need Travis Etienne when they had
Right.
James Robinson.
Basically, like the Washington football team, they haven't been getting any good draft picks because of their front office is a bunch of idiots,
Like
especially Snyder.
everybody was cool. Everybody was hyped and happy. Like, oh, Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne are going to be together again. Well,
Hmm.
Etienne got hurt, and what is he going to do? Run through everybody because their line is lacking. They should have went for somebody to help block
Exactly.
open
I was just
holes.
gonna say they needed a better lineman to fill those spots because
Mm-hmm.
I think like even with the Lions, like they could be. That's the thing about the Lions is they could be a good team if they would use their talent correctly.
That the Lions. Is that what you just said?
No, I said the buy-ins. I'm just kidding.
The Detroit Lions need to get rid of Jared Goff. I don't
Well,
care.
yeah, exactly. Well,
I
I'm
hate
saying,
Jared Goff. I want
yeah,
a record. Jared Goff is my least favorite quarterback in the league.
yeah, he sucks. See, and that's the thing is I agree on that point because I literally said when they traded Matt Stafford to the Rams, I said the Lions will never win a game until they get another quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And
They won
that,
one.
yeah, well, they won on a miracle play, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But to be 1-10 or 11 or whatever it is they are now, I'm gonna look that up.
The,
But I I think what it is that the Lions severely screwed up when they let go of Matt.
I don't think that was a screw up because Matt Stafford did outgrow them. You don't want to just keep dragging them down, dragging them down. I think for
True.
my personal bias, I think they should have let Matt Stafford go like they did. But I think they should have parlayed that into getting rid of Jared Goff and picking up a young
A
quarterback
better
that you can
quarterback.
mold. But the thing is with the Lions, they do got a good team and these were all close games and stuff. But you know what
Mhm.
matters in those close games? A quarterback that can capitalize, and that's not Jared Goff. Jared
Exactly.
Goff had one good season. He got carried by his defense. I don't care what anybody says. He got carried by Cooper Cup. He got carried by uh,
Hmm.
Todd Gurley.
Yep.
He was carried to that season, and they might
True.
say, well, his QB or QB percentage was great, you know?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it's going to be great when you have everybody around you doing good.
exactly.
So Jared Goff put in a system where he's not sure, fresh head coach. They definitely should have parlayed that into somebody that they want to mold with.
Right. I
Jared
agree.
Goff is not their future.
Yeah, Jared. I honestly, and it always happens that way where any player that comes to the Lions or leaves the Lions either basically either sucks when they get here
Hmm.
or they do better when they leave. And I think a lot of it is maybe some of them do that on purpose just so they can get
Yeah.
released, And that's probably 100% true because if I was in a position that way where I couldn't win,
Hmm.
I would find any way to get out of that. And a lot of it is, what are they? They took them almost a year to win a game,
Yeah.
and it's like it's sad actually to even say that because like I said, I think it was the other day, the Lions are this year is the 19 version of the 1970s Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they went like 25 straight games without winning,
Hmm.
and that's how the Lions are, and it's embarrassing.
Another thing is like a lot of people, because I've obviously stated this opinion before about Jared Goff. They're like, well, he doesn't
Hmm.
have anybody to throw to. He has T.J. Hawkinson,
Hmm.
the tight end. Yeah, I mean he's out for the rest of the season,
Yeah.
but he's a he's a very very vital weapon. He could.
Hmm.
I feel like if he had a quarterback, he could be up there for
Oh
like
yeah.
top 5
Oh yeah.
tight ends in the league.
Yep.
And then he has these young receivers that have a lot of a potential. That St. Brown kid,
Hmm.
they're all growing into their own slowly. But
Hmm.
I feel like they won't be able to step up till they get a quarterback that can step up.
Yep.
And obviously,
Exactly.
they're not like any Julio Joneses or Devontae Adams or anything yet.
Right.
But they have potential, and they're not being utilized enough.
Exactly. Because if they had even a I don't know what his name. I'm not even and I'm not saying this because he's from Holland, but even like Kirk Cousins, he's one of those ones that needs to step it up.
Kirk Cousins is the old version of Jared Goff.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of those ones of he could be good if he would be in a better situation. But I think what he does is he it's like he's afraid to succeed,
Hmm.
to be successful. Like if I do better, more people will come after me.
I feel like
You
he
know?
has okay games, but he's definitely lower on my tier list of quarterbacks potential.
Yeah.
Like there's a quarterback out there right now that his team's doing good that I don't think is great. And that's Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Like he's not the worst. I'm not saying he's the worst quarterback or anything like that, but
Yeah.
the Titans would be unstoppable if they had a better quarterback. So I'm saying like somebody like a Russell Wilson or Matt Stafford, obviously Patrick Mahomes makes any team better, but just
Yeah.
somebody that's a little above average, I feel like would make the Titans.
See, and that's true because I honestly think like I mean look at for example when he was with Washington.
Hmm.
He had better games with Washington than he does with Minnesota. Only because he was trying to prove himself as a starting quarterback
Kirk Cousins.
over what's his name, RG3, when they were competing for the role, and I think it got to his head because he got the starting role. Now he made all this, broke Washington records, passing records, touchdown pass records, and now the NFL's looking at him, like other teams are looking at him when he had finally became an free agent. Now he can go anywhere he wants.
Yeah.
You know, okay, well, you guys still prove yourself over there too,
Hmm.
no matter where you go. And that's what I think Jared Goff did was thought he can just come over here and do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Like he did over there because he had the team to do that with. So,
Hmm. Now, I got a question. 'Cause
yeah.
I have a coworker who's obsessed with David Bell, third string, second string, whatever he is for the Lions. Do you
Hmm.
think he should start over Goff?
I think maybe he should give him a chance to
Yeah, I agree. That's right.
because maybe he might be able to do something because he's, again, just like the Kirk Cousins situation. He was out there, second string, third string, whatever he was, and wanting that opportunity to get out there and show what he can do. And I think if he might be able to. I mean, because if I, like, again, if I was in a position that way, I'd be like, and I hate to say it this way, or even um, make it sound bad, but if I was in a position like that, I would kind of wish that they would have bad games so I can get in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not an injury, because
Yeah.
obviously I don't wish that on anybody, but a bad game, a few bad games, because there was several games where Goff should have been really taken out of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
He shouldn't even been in the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, was it an overtime game? What was that one? Oh, the one they tied with Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
They had an opportunity to win that game.
Mm-hmm. They had a few.
Field goal. I mean, all they had to do was a couple more side passes or even one long pass. I think they had a timeout left. And that's another thing too, is like this is what always gets me about the whole team in general. If you're in a position where you're driving down the field, you have one timeout left, wouldn't you think they would have at least 3 or 4 plays ready to go
Yeah.
instead of wasting all that time?
They definitely look uncoordinated when
Exactly.
I've noticed actually a few teams have been like that this year, all over the place. The Ravens, I've seen like that. The Steelers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you'd think they'd be more prepared for any situation when you run 2-minute drills every day.
Right. Exactly, because it's the same thing with like, well, I'm gonna go to college with this one. The Michigan defense. I can't stand what they do when they sit there and try to substitute players, knowing the other team is getting ready to hike the ball, and they're still like trying to figure out who's going to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but our defensive coordinator was from the NFL, and so he's used to them other teams giving them a chance to switch and do it.
Well, you're supposed to give them a chance, but the thing is,
Yeah.
I think they just overthink it in a way. So they're like, instead of just having like second team going, third team going, hands team, whatever it is. I don't know what it calls, but instead of having that up and ready to go, they're like, oh well, we're up against MSU. Hurry, somebody go cover Kenneth Walker. Who can cover Kenneth Walker? Or who's able to stop C.J. Stroud? Somebody hurry up, get in there.
Right.
And,
that could be true. That could be what they're thinking and on that aspect of things, because it's like we're watching the game. We don't know what the hell they're talking about. But in a fan's eyes, we're thinking, what in the hell are they doing?
Yeah. Hands up in the air, looking
exactly.
to the sideline.
What the frick is going on here? And so I especially against Ohio State, when I knew that was going to happen, and I was closer to the end of the game, so I didn't care. But it was a whole season situation where they were always doing that. Like even commentators would comment on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy needs to realize he's not in the NFL anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping next season that they get that part fixed.
You better hope this season, because they're still in the playoffs.
Well, I know, but I mean like, hopefully they win the whole thing. That's as a fan, that's
what are the
hard.
odds of that if they win it all? Like, if somebody put a $10 bet, how much do you think they're winning?
Oh, probably 100,000 maybe. I honestly thought about
like
that.
Die Hard. There's some drunk in Ann Arbor right now. Like, Michigan's winning it all, $10.
Yeah, and then he comes back and he's like, "Oh dang,
He's like, oh shit, guys,
I won $100,000 just for being drunk in a bar." I mean, that would be nice though. But so, and another subject that I wanted to get to was with all these players, especially I think, who is it? Washington, Cleveland has a lot of players out. Rams, I think, do.
Talking about COVID.
COVID is like still rampant everywhere, and it's very ridiculous. Like, I think Canada already banned fans again
Hmm.
for now. Do you see America doing that again?
Banning fans, I'm pretty sure is going to be the last resort just because they need income. They need that money. And
Hmm.
if fans are vaccinated, they're going to risk it too.
Right.
Personally, I wouldn't ban fans for those reasons. And, vaccinated or not, COVID's still going around. I'm not trying to get political or anything like that, but
Yeah.
it's definitely still going around, and all these players are vaccinated. We're still getting it, and it turns out they're actually pushing those games back. One was supposed to be Saturday, they moved to Monday. One's going to be playing on Tuesday.
Right. There was actually two Bulls games that got canceled, or
Yeah.
not canceled, but pushed back against I think the Hawks and the Pistons.
Mhm.
Or yeah, it was the Hawks. Or no, Portland. I mean, Toronto.
The Raptors.
I was picturing the logo when I
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
picturing
there's red, there's circle, there's circle. There's
Yeah, I know.
a
Like,
dinosaur inside of it.
which? Oh yeah, it was. It was a claw. But yeah. So I mean, like, I think a lot. It's still gonna happen. It's. I read from several doctors actually. They're saying similar things about it. That this basically will be around for good.
Yeah,
And it's going to end up another yearly vaccination like the flu does.
yeah. So if that's the case, then maybe by next season or later this season, they're like, it's the flu, guys.
Right.
We're gonna play through the flu.
Exactly.
It just kind of depends their mindset about it. I know it's still like a big political thing, so they have to be careful about how they tread. But in a year or two, it's just gonna be like, oh, they got a player on COVID leave right now, so he's
Yeah.
out. Like a Jordan flu game kind of thing.
Right.
Or
that's
like,
true.
yeah, he's off today, because he wasn't
Mhm.
feeling well. He's got the COVID.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's
Not
true.
gonna- like, that's what I'm
That's true.
hopeful for. If they're making it seem like that, but like,
Yeah.
it just kind of depends all in all.
Mhm.
I think canceling games or pushing everything back, I'm not a fan of simply because people bought tickets,
Right.
people planned for it. I got fantasy football and bets going on.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
It's a
true.
business.
Mhm.
If I get sick, sometimes you still gotta go to work. COVID, obviously not,
Yeah.
but you just COVID, you take your couple days off or whatever day, how many days they give you, and then you go back to work.
Yeah,
So like, it just kind of depends.
that's true.
And
Because
then I've also seen a lot of false positives coming from it.
and that's actually true because I wondered that about like well I think the Red I'm gonna call them Redskins. I don't know how many, but
Washington football team.
yeah. I've heard they had almost 21, I think it was 18 to 21, somewhere around there. And it made me think too, like same thing, like how are all these people catching it when, I mean, I could see it happening maybe after games in the locker rooms, they're all like talking to each
But
other.
even then, they're following protocols.
Right, exactly. Or they're all having dinner. Yeah. They're all, I mean, there's, I just heard, what game was that? That somebody just said that they had dinner with each other like the night before they found out they had it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Rams, now that I think about it. But yeah, I mean, nobody's following what they're supposed to. So it's like, what's the point of even having the protocols? Because nobody's going to follow it anyways.
Yeah,
I mean, I know there's a reason behind it, but nobody's going to follow it.
like that. One people are going to do what they want. And I'm not trying to downplay COVID in any way. It's a serious
Right.
thing. I just think that in somewhere like that, when it's such a controlled environment,
Mhm.
and you're testing so much, you're going to get false positives.
Mhm.
There's bound to be something wrong. And then once one false positive pops up, well, I was with him, so we're going to test more, and then we're going to test more and more and more
Right.
and more. Which may help you find COVID, but at the same time, it could just give you, a
Yeah.
big mess like what we got.
Right.
And I've
That's
seen
true.
like Baker Mayfield tweeting about it. They got like these protocols. A lot of them are contradicting and don't make sense. If you're certain teams get pulled out and tested more than others, it just.
I mean, that's true. I mean, it could be that, yeah, because they're all hanging out with each other after games, or obviously they're, like I said, all in the locker rooms after games for who knows how long they're in there
Mhm.
afterwards, and probably making out. Just kidding. Kidding. No, but it's gonna get passed around whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. And I mean, and again, none of them are probably wearing masks. I mean, I still see fans wearing them, but the
That's
only time I actually really seen one playing it was a basketball game. I think actually was when they're sitting on on
bench.
chairs.
Yeah.
Was I think a Lakers game.
It kind of, and then like I said, I don't want to get political or anything like that, so I don't want to talk too much on it. But like, vaccinated, not
Mhm.
vaccinated, all these fines coming with it for people.
Oh yeah, that too. Yep.
It's like, it doesn't seem fair because like even if you are vaccinated, most of these players are, most of them have gotten
hmm
their vaccines and they're still test positive, they're still pushing games back.
Right.
So why punish the ones who aren't vaccinated
Exactly.
but didn't test positive?
Right. Yeah, because
And then again, it's not even a set thing because Aaron Rodgers didn't technically lie about having a vaccination,
right.
but he definitely messed with
The
his,
media.
yeah, messed with his words to make it like portray he had the
Right.
vaccination.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
Like he worded it wrong or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So like he didn't lie and say, yeah, I got vaccinated, but
But then didn't.
he
Yeah.
wasn't vaccinated. Made it seem like he was. He interacted with people, and then he got slapped with the fine or whatever he got.
Yeah.
And now Antonio Brown is out, however many games because he lied about it. I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah, they
I
should.
feel like it's too wishy washy with all these protocols. They gotta just sit down and come up with something that actually makes sense.
Right. That's true. Yep, I agree because I think it's getting out of hand with it. We've had what is it, a season and a half to where we knew that COVID was here.
Mm-hmm.
They should have at least come up with something to say, okay, this is what we're all going to do. Everybody has to follow it so that way everybody's safe. Nobody's lying about it. Obviously we didn't know anybody was going to lie about it, but now that they know, and they need to come up with something that everybody can work with, every team can do. That way it doesn't get where they're almost canceling games.
Yeah.
Because I think I think it was I always forget that guy's name. Stephen something on
Stephen
ESPN.
A. Smith.
Huh?
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah. He had
I hate
mentioned
him too.
yeah. He had mentioned that that's going to be their last resort of canceling any games if they need to.
Yeah, like I said, their business. They need that money.
Yeah. Because again, yeah, it's got to be that. But all right, well, anything you want to add today, Tones, before we put this one to the editing room? All right.
Go Chiefs. Hook 'em horns.
I meant something good. Just kidding. Just
Wait, I do want to talk about something.
okay.
I am very sad.
About what?
Texas's QB, Casey Thompson, today entered the transfer portal.
Oh, did he really?
Yep.
I thought somebody just transferred to
Yeah,
Texas.
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Which I am happy about that.
Yeah.
But still, if he better come in and do
Who's their
something.
coach again?
What?
Who's their coach again?
Steve Sarkisian,
Yeah.
the
okay. That's what I thought.
OC from Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Well, what did they finish? I'm not saying it just to
Trash.
being serious.
Ass. The
Hey,
worst.
I
They started off hot and then just.
dropped down.
They had QB changes. They had
Yeah.
debacles. It wasn't our year at all, and I can admit that.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hate how Texas kind of has like a cancel culture for coaches. Like after a while, yes, throw a coach aside.
Yeah.
Charlie Strong, Herman. After a while, they were just we were wasting our time with them.
Yeah.
But I've got people telling me that Sarkisian needs to go. It's been one season.
Yeah.
He walked in on something that he wasn't.
Well, look at Harbaugh. How long it took him to do something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, they definitely got like a cancel the coach culture.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Exactly healthy.
I mean, I'm gonna admit myself, I was pissed off when those 8 straight years when they couldn't beat Ohio State. That I was like, all right, we need a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
We need a new, what do you call it? Basically, a whole new staff to get in there and beat these people. But then I finally thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna give Harbaugh another chance to prove. I didn't say anything on Facebook because I knew people were gonna be like, "Oh, whatever, you're just saying that because they're having a good season." No, I was thinking this at the beginning
He
because
did it for you, Ben.
yeah.
He did this all for you.
Where's over him? He never sent me the money that he was like giving to. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, nobody. Honestly, they had a 0.2 or something like that percent chance of even making it to the playoffs, making it as far as they did, and they weren't even ranked at the beginning of the season.
Texas was. Look how that.
I mean, it's like a meme that I've seen. That I saw. I think Matt shared it. Was so I don't remember the exact wording, but it said basically you gave you did this good, and what did it cost you? And it said Michigan basketball. I'm like, well, that's kind of true because they lost to two unranked teams
Yeah, Michigan basketball.
when they were ranked.
Texas is doing now.
Yeah, they got a good basketball team.
They're. I think they dropped down from like 7th to 17th after like one.
I don't even think Michigan's even ranked right now. I think they play. Dang, I just saw it too. I don't remember.
We lost to Gonzaga and Seton Hall. But Seton Hall is pretty good.
Yeah, that's who Michigan lost to.
And Gonzaga is, Gonzaga.
But that's who Michigan beat in 1989 in the national championship game. But I was 10 years old then, so I kind of remember.
Did they have 3-point lines then?
Yeah.
When everybody shot free throws under it.
No, they actually they beat, because that was when Glenn Rice was on their team, and I kind of remember it, but then I kind of don't, because I remember seeing it in the news. But like I said, I was 10 years old then. But I do remember the early 90s Fab Five teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember all of that. It's like, out of nowhere, I just started liking sports. Or actually paying attention to it. Especially, like, because, like I said, I've been a Bulls fan since 1987, basically, when I started watching basketball.
You became a Bulls fan when Lonzo.
Look at that over there.
What does it say?
MJ.
And it says Lonzo ball for life.
No, but look at this one, though. I want to show you this. Hold on. I'll be back. I don't have this out because I don't want to get ruined.
What if you just bent
I
it
know,
up and you pulled it out?
I spilled something.
Crease the page.
I ripped the crap out of it. Oh my gosh, the cover's coming off. No, but I mean, I'm Bulls fan since the '80s, and I'm probably one in our from that time frame, but in our family to say I like the Bulls before they even won a championship, before I even thought they would win a championship. And then, boom, 3 in a row. Boom, 3 in a row. 2 years later.
I'm the first fan.
And then they sucked after that.
Chiefs fan before they won a championship.
I honestly, I like Mahomes. I like him as a player, but obviously I don't like the Chiefs. But I always thought when I
as
saw
long as you respect Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill.
I only like Kelce. You know,
Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the league. Don't start with me. I'll turn into Stephen A. Smith. I don't like him.
I'm not saying I didn't like him. I like him as a player, yeah. But my favorite tight end would probably be anybody from Michigan. Actually, and I hate to say this because I hate Dallas Cowboys.
Don't say Jason Witten.
What's that?
Don't say Jason Witten.
I was.
Oh. Jason Witten is a Stone Cold Steve Austin of the NFL. He has the same vibe as him. When I look at Jason Witten, I imagine he's going to be hanging out with Brett Favre wearing jeans at a ranch or something.
Exactly. That's what I always picture them as, cowboys, and literal, actual cowboys.
No, Jason Witten, you know what? I have respect for Jason Witten because I just feel like he's like that truck that people would drive that, it wasn't the prettiest, but it would get you to where you need to go.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think of it, because every time I watch it, when the Cowboys are actually on TV, I do actually catch a game. I only watch them only because it's a game. I don't care. Like those times when you watch a game, you don't give a crap who's playing. It's because it's football.
I play fantasy, so I give crap about most games, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that too. I don't do that, but I honestly have only done that once, and I always forget about it. But I remember a game that I watched with the Cowboys. I think it might have been the Falcons. I think, but that dude was everywhere in that game, and that was what made me think, damn, this dude ain't afraid to do anything. And that's, I think he had like maybe 9 or 10 catches, 180 yards. I don't remember how many touchdowns he had, but he did pretty good in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of those players that made me look like, damn, this dude's actually pretty good.
You know what?
You know,
You know what he did? He went 5 yards out, caught the ball, fell down. 5 yards out, caught the ball, fell down. Because you got Tony Romo back there.
that's true.
Tony Romo's
You
not
know,
making, you know, he.
Who was that other quarterback they had at that time? I can't remember.
Oh, right.
I can't remember their name. See, and that's how bad they are.
Yeah, we don't care about Cowboys here.
Yeah, wait, what are we even doing? What are we talking about them for?
Wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Wrap it up. Back it up. Yeah, so.
I got one more question for you.
Oh,
before
yeah.
we call it quits.
What?
Who do you got going to the Super Bowl?
Oh, good. I think it's gonna be a rematch.
Chiefs versus Bucks.
Yep.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I will say,
I
part
think
of
it will be
me
a rematch.
thinks that the Packers and Aaron Rodgers came to play this year, and they're
Yeah.
finally gonna squeeze past Tom Brady by a hair.
They might. Yeah, that's true. I
But-
didn't even think about Aaron Rodgers. And what's today's date? What's today's date?
The 17th.
You heard it here, everybody. Today, December 17th, 2021. That I said. Well, hold on. Let me put the camera on me real quick. I said that it'll be a rematch between the Chiefs and the Bucks. Tones
I
over
believe,
here. Hold on. I switched. I put the wrong. Okay.
I believe
Yeah.
that the Packers are gonna squeeze it out,
Mhm.
and we're gonna get an All-State Bowl of Chiefs.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, All-State Bowl. Yeah.
I was thinking, wait,
Versus
what?
Pat- Aaron Rodgers
I
versus
forgot.
Pat Mahomes. Chiefs versus Packers.
Wait, you mean Allstate?
Or State Farm?
He's with State Farm.
State Farm, my bad.
I was like, wait, what?
They just both have good hands. So
I know.
Allstate. No,
That's true. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I agree. I
and
they
I
might-
feel like
they
that,
might have-
honestly, I feel like I would rather watch that game instead of the Bucks versus Chiefs running back.
True. Because that actually, I mean, Tom Brady, he had mentioned that he will not retire until he wins another Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. No, let him win then. Let him win.
Yeah.
Tired of him.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's probably the best Michigan quarterback in the history of Michigan.
He's the best quarterback in the history of quarterbacks.
Well, that's true.
I hate him. But you gotta respect. It's like, you remember Anchorman when
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn grabs the ladder while Ron Burgundy's climbing up
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He's like, I hate you, but I respect you, and he
Yeah,
lets it
he
go.
lets
That's
it
how I
go.
feel about Tom Brady.
Oh, that's when he fell into that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
that's how I feel about Tom Brady. Same with LeBron James.
You had to push Tom Brady into the
Yeah,
bear exhibit. But yeah, so I think that might be a good Super Bowl because it actually would be the rematch of the first Super Bowl, Packers and Chiefs, 1967. So we heard it here. It could be either the Chiefs or the Packers, or a rematch of last year's. So we'll see.
guess we'll see.
And what did you think? Wait, hold on. Let me switch cameras here. What'd you say?
I guess we'll see.
Yep, exactly. Well, I mean,
Watch it be
We'll
like
go-
the
the
Patriots
stupidest Super
versus
Bowl ever.
Patriots versus Cowboys or some shit.
One that see, and that's the Patriots are actually doing
Yeah,
pretty
they-
decent.
Bill Belichick's a fucking genius.
Yeah, I know.
That
I mean,
dude-
How in the hell are they winning right now without Tom Brady?
yeah, when you think of a football coach, you think about Bill Belichick. You know, like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, I love Andy Reid, and Andy Reid's my favorite coach to ever walk this
Yeah.
earth. But Bill Belichick
He,
has crafted one of the most perfect organizations
hmm
under somebody like Robert Kraft.
exactly. And before we log off here, that's actually something that I thought too because, I mean, they won what 8 Super Bowls or something like that, whatever it was. How many did they win? 8 or 9?
Too many.
Too many to count. and to still be winning I think they're 9-4 or 10-4 now, without the best quarterback in history, and they're still doing good, tells you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because
with the rookie quarterback too, at Mac Jones.
Yeah, and because they sucked with Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm. And then they've also had constant injuries at running back, so they've been switching between running backs. And
yep.
I can name one receiver for them right now. I don't really keep up with Patriots, but Jacoby Myers is the only receiver I can really think of for them right now.
The only player I can think of is
they don't have Gronk, they don't have Tom Brady, they don't have Edelman, they got a rookie QB. Obviously Belichick's doing.
They're going to be one of those teams that surprises people in the playoffs if they make it that far.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, we got an extra week of football this year.
17 weeks.
The Red Washington can pull it out. Well, I mean they almost came back against the Cowboys.
They got a hill to climb to make playoffs.
Oh yeah, they got plenty of time, especially with that extra week. So
I don't know, man, because they need some losses, they need some wins. It just kind of depends.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it said something was being delivered today, but I don't remember ordering anything.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, all right. Well, let's call this one a show, and we'll do another one whenever.
So. All right, bye everybody.
Oh, what? Hold on. Let me do that again. Let's switch cameras.
So long. Have a beautiful time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Tones, or excuse me, Antonio Ruiz, or we call him Tones. I think I'm the. Does anybody else call you Tones?
Yeah, a few people call me Tones.
Abner was the first one.
My parents call me Disappointment.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so all right, so we'll end it tonight, and we'll call it a night. And y'all have a good night. Peace.